Hey, this is Molly. Welcome back to my YouTube channel as we take a look at the Virgo New Moon coming up on September 17th, 2020. It's exact at 4 a.m. That's Pacific Daylight Savings Time, and that's in San Francisco. So make sure and adjust accordingly for your location on the planet. Let's take a look at the chart here and see what is happening at this new moon, where the sun and the moon, that's the masculine, the feminine, the yin and the yang, anima, animus, are united with a new intention together, starting at 25 degrees of Virgo. So look in your natal chart at where 25 degrees of Virgo is. Notice whatever that house placement is. And this is where you're being guided to plant a new intention and to begin to see what you're ready to develop and grow. And that's because this is a very strong new moon. It has some grit to it, it has some strength, and it has the ability to develop into something really powerful in your life. So the sun and the moon at Virgo are together here, asking you to look at what you are ready to heal, solve, resolve, understand, analyze, go into. The Virgo energy helps us pinpoint a detail, a specific. It's very particular, and it's a problem solver. This is the energy of maybe being able to see something clearly or have a new understanding around something that's been happening in your life and new ways to approach it. So there's something very powerful about this new moon and how it can help shift your life and change it into a direction that you're ready to take. And this is especially true because both the sun and the moon are making this lovely trine to the planets in Capricorn, but specifically the Saturn at 25 degrees of Capricorn retrograde. Now, this is powerful for looking at what commitments you're ready to undertake, what you're ready to say yes to, what you want to take forward, what you're ready to build. And chances are this is something you've been working on all year because Saturn is retrograded back to this 25 degree point of Capricorn, where it's been sitting as Saturn prepares to go direct the end of September. So Saturn is sitting here at 25 degrees of Capricorn in your chart, bringing your attention to this area of your life, the work you've been doing, as well as the work you've had to do. There have been no shortcuts here. You can't get out of it. You can't ignore it. There's been such a focal point in our lives around this point in our chart that there's something you've been transforming permanently. And now this new moon is bringing in those new solutions, those new ways of approaching it, the next steps, the right process, what to do about it next. Virgo is the how we take care of something, how we move forward, how we make results real. And as these energies are working so nicely with this Saturn in Capricorn, it could feel like the first time this year that you're gaining traction on something that really matters to you, as well as all of the energies that have been changing for you in this area of your chart where these Capricorn planets have been hanging out. So not only are the sun and the moon stabilized by this Saturn, they're bringing in a new solution that really wasn't available earlier in the year. And that's going to be invigorating. There's a sense of finally something is connecting, something's ready to go, something's ready to move forward during the Virgo new moon. And you can connect the dots between where this 25 degrees of Virgo is in your chart and then the 25 degrees of Capricorn. So in this example, it's between the second house and the sixth house. Now, the other important element here is also this Pluto at 22 degrees Capricorn retrograde that also is hanging out here and is going to be hovering at 22 degrees of Capricorn for a few months. This is the last time in your life this is going to be in this place in your chart. And so we have all been undergoing a very big life renovation, and it's happening at a deep soul level. And so you can think of it as Pluto is that soul energy of what we're evolving and transforming, what we're seeing more deeply, what we're feeling intensely. And that Saturn energy has been bringing it up to our awareness in this reality and in our physical lives. So that's why we've had these big shifts happening within us deeply and permanently, but also in our physical world. So it's been a really big year. We all know that. It's been this big 1-2 punch of you can't just turn your eye to any part of your life because there's been too much focus on it. So when the sun and the moon are trining this Pluto, it's also helping you stabilize perhaps what you've been working on energetically, how you've been growing, what you've had to look at, your own dark nights of the soul, your own deeper shadows, your own ways of perhaps not even seeing parts of your fears or what's been in your unconscious or subconscious. And so what is happening with this energy from Virgo is it brings in the healing that's necessary at a deeper level. And this can be body healing because Virgo is associated with the energetics of our physical bodies and what we've been moving through, how we've been changing our daily lives, our daily routines, our everyday habits. There's something here that's supportive about what you can honor in yourself physically. And also it feels like there's something that's meant to give you a new sense of power and strength around your priorities, around your everyday priorities. And this new moon could be where you establish a new daily devotion, a new habit, a new routine, even a new relationship with your body, nutrition, health, lifestyle, food, any of these things that are connected with Virgo. They're getting support from these Capricorn planets that are about the commitment and what you want. And it could be a really good time to look at what you want from now until mid-January. And that's when you could have an understanding of how you want to start the new year. But that's also when the sun will then be at these degrees of Capricorn. What commitments are you ready to make to yourself around health, healing, work, job, daily life? And it's going to change how you show up. That sense of responsibility, self-respect, integrity, growth. This is a very strong new moon around what matters to you. It also is a reflection of your own mastery, what you've been mastering throughout 2020 that, was probably unexpected. But it's going to show you, again, what your priorities are. And if nothing else, 2020 has definitely showed us what matters when we're all in quarantine or isolated and when we're all in our own energy. What has come up to your awareness that matters? What has shifted in you around your life direction and where you're going? And that's also a Capricorn trait. So there's some type of reality check, but also a commitment to yourself that can be made at this Virgo new moon. Now, the other energies at play here is that this Jupiter is now direct and going forward and is in a wide trine to the new moon as well. And so that is robust and encouraging. Jupiter brings in the resources you need to take it forward or to move to next steps. Mercury at 17 degrees of Libra here is a conversationalist and a negotiator. Let's talk it out. Let's look at both sides. What do we need to do here? How can we move this along? And this Mercury is squaring Jupiter. So it could even be a flood of ideas or a flood of possibilities. But as this Mercury moves forward after the new moon, it's going to be squaring Pluto and then squaring Saturn. So there's something about this Mercury where our minds are wanting to solve and figure out something and even talk it out with someone, talk it through, make sure you're looking at both sides and considering more possibilities. But this Mercury is going to have some increasing tension. As it meets up with these planets in Capricorn, they really don't want to negotiate. This is the energy of the commander, and I'll make the decision. So it could be like you want to talk something through, but there's another external source or powers that be that have already made a choice. And it's interesting because Mercury is going to be in retrograde in October and November, and it's going to be meeting up with these Capricorn planets again, specifically Saturn. So it's like, keep the conversation going. But I feel like there's things you don't have to talk to people about. I mean, there's something you just can know for yourself, and that's what carries you through, or that's what all you need to understand what is correct. Now, also in this chart, we have this Mars at 27 Aries, now retrograde, and still in that tight square to Saturn, which is going to be more exact over the next few weeks. And this is the standstill, the stopping, the part of you that wants to move something ahead, but there is a retraction of energy here about the timing. And that's Capricorn, and that's Saturn is the bigger timing. It's like you feel it, you want it, you know what it is. There's something driving you, and it's inside, it's internal. And I have been talking about this for a few weeks now. So I guess it is something where you want to be acting from a place of understanding what your life is right now, what's in front of you, what you do have control over, what you do have a sense of responsibility for right now. And then the new will be showing up once Mars stations direct at 15 degrees of Aries, November 14th. So that's a few months from now, but it can help with understanding, okay, I just need to take care of what's in front of me. And yes, I'm building and I'm developing some things, and I'm, being very mindful of what you're responsible for. There's also an energy here of not only refinement, but of keeping it small, keeping it manageable, keeping things manageable, whatever that might mean for you. And if you watched my previous videos on the Pisces full moon of September 1st and the September 2020 Earth Grand Trine energies, you saw how I mentioned that this new moon was important for something clicking and coming together, because since the beginning of September, there's been an evolution of energies revealing to us what these priorities are, what we need to manage, what is important right now. And so there are building blocks that are connecting. And it's meant to give you a sense of purpose. And that purpose can show up in any number of ways. But it could be a short-term purpose or long-term purpose. It could be an understanding of something that you need to take care of or something that matters. But I get the impression here that we're entering into the next phase of growth and development that wasn't available earlier. And so base your decisions on what matters to you now, what is in front of you, what is something that, calls to you that you can put into some kind of form or make it a part of your life, make it a part of your reality, while some other things are coming together in the background, within you, deeper within you. And I did 2 podcasts on this Mars in Aries retrograde. If you want to listen to those, I think this is a reworking. This Mars in Aries retrograde is a reworking and a healing of the root chakra, fears, fight or flight, what you want, and maybe you want to go for it now, but it's ensuring that you're on the right track. I do think it's part of the clearing up and cleaning out of this year as well, because Mars is quite dynamic in January 2021. So there is something that goes along with this theme of 2020, of this deep renovation, this deep review, but also I feel it as a deeper understanding of what has permanently changed in your world, and that you can't do things the way you used to do them. There's something else supporting what is required right now, but also supporting that root energy of who you are. Also, around this new moon, we just had this Venus just squared Uranus. So there could be some remnants of energies of things playing out that were unexpected, but hopefully showed you more of what's important to you, which is what Venus does. And then we also have this new moon squaring the North Node in Gemini at 24 degrees of Gemini. And that square to the North Node it's typically a reassessment of where you're going, but this is a very strong mental energy, because both Virgo and Gemini are about the details and the specifics, the data. It's typically more linear thinking. And it could be that pressure to figure it out. It's interesting. It could be a pressure to figure it out, but this Mercury is going to be feeling the strain as it meets up with these Capricorn planets. So there's something that's being talked about, discussed, worked out, and it's about really looking at where your mental energy goes, and if it's excessive, if it's too much, and what you can do to stay open to an unfolding process. So as always, a lot is in play, but there's something that gains traction here and that develops with this strong earth energy. And it's meant to be new. A new undertaking, a new purpose, a new routine, a new healing, and something new has the ability to lock in for you. So if you can focus on that and put your energy towards what is best for you now, body, mind, and spirit, it could really be a beneficial development for this last quarter of 2020 and into 2021. So I hope this has been some good things to think about. Thank you so much for your likes, subscribes, and comments. Thank you for sharing these videos. I really appreciate it. And as always, you can listen to my podcasts every Monday and Wednesday right here on YouTube. And I hope that they help you work with and understand the energies in your life. I'll see you soon.